Welcome to Movement Talk. My name is Frances Valdez, and Movement Talk is a show about immigration issues and other social justice issues. First guest with us today, a really good friend of mine, Claudia Ortega-Hogue, who I've known I think now for about, 9 years. And just wanted to have a conversation with Claudia because she is what I call the citizenship queen. And this month is Citizenship Month. I know that you are doing some consulting. Do you want to tell us maybe a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, so I think, I found my passion, right, which was to empower our community through civic engagement, through education, through philanthropy. There's so many other things that I'm part of it, but right now part of the consulting that I've been doing is really kind of working on those. How can I bridge those gaps? What can I do to advance our community? So I've been doing some work on consulting on how to, what do we need to do, and within the Latino community, but also other international communities. How can we all collaborate and work together and share resources and perhaps, what I've learned, how can I share it and really just help our community. So I've been doing a little bit. I'm still kind of new on the consulting side, but I still volunteer through the League of Women Voters, which the main mission is to educate through civic engagement. Right now we're working very heavy, especially with the election work. I also volunteer at Latino Give in Houston, which is philanthropy. We have a great team, and I think that the whole idea is to how do we work together, raise money locally, and give it back to the nonprofit. So I'm still, I guess, volunteering in so many other initiatives here. One more, or a couple of more, is Citizenship Month. Right. That is coming up in Houston. I think that's something that is under the city of Houston. And the idea of this initiative is to celebrate the many faces of Houston. How do we work together throughout diversity? Not necessarily just the immigration side, but then how do we as Houstonians relate to each other through faith, through our work, through our parks. What can we do for us to get to know each other? And we may be coming from different backgrounds, but at the end of the day, we are a person with maybe different, a little bit of different backgrounds, but at the same, we're all the same, right? So I think that's coming up in November, and that's something I'm trying to kind of work in areas that really are about empowering the community.
And you're doing that with the city of Houston?
Yes. That initiative, probably can expand a little bit more. That initiative has been going on, and it really got started back in 2009. And I started by Citizenship Week, by a few co-founding leaders here, and I think they saw the opportunity to really having Houston, one of the most diverse cities in the country, like what can we do to elevate or to highlight our diversity? And it really started with Citizenship Week. Let's just do something 1 week out of the month in November. And I think throughout, as the initiative grew, it really grew into something bigger and better. So now after 3 years that it started in 2011, it grew to Citizenship Month. And we really allowed that a lot of our local nonprofits and business community and faith community come together on this one joint effort and really highlight our, like I said, our international backgrounds. Or even if we were from Houston, who we are and how do we celebrate. And I think it's really just awareness on our diversity. And I think, especially with this year going into 2016, we have a new mayor, and he has embraced this initiative and has done a phenomenal job. I think we're going to be doing some great things now for November, and it really has elevated the leadership here, and it had also allowed the city of Houston to bring initiatives such as Welcoming Houston. There has been Welcoming America. There's all these little things that are happening, but really it has been elevated through the work that was done through the Citizenship Month, and I think it has allowed for other things to expand. And this could never be possible without all these great nonprofits that are out there that have given their volunteer work and resources. So this will be a great, starting in November, we're going to have a month of events all across the city. The website is citizenshipmonth.org. People can go out there, check the events or upload events and really just invite the community to come join you.
And what kind of events are you going to have?
So, for example, one of them that something that for me that how I got engaged was one event, and there's many other different types, but one of them, for example, just a basic event such as let's have a free citizenship and immigration forum. Those were happening in the city already, right? But I don't think a lot of other backgrounds or communities knew about them. So, for example, this allowed other organizations to join this effort. In reality, for example, this event was to promote, provide citizenship, help people apply for, to go through the process for free, and for them to become citizens. Other events, for example, could be as far as, we have a Thanksgiving effort. So how do we all come together and celebrate, and have Thanksgiving together? And something that is new for a lot of our incoming immigrant community, and some of them that have been here for many, many years. So all about how do we sit together? So that's one of the events. There's other events happening in the Houston Public Library. So for example, they'll have events or signage in different languages, things that are out there for the community to go. So reality is kind of raise the profile through the campaign, but really the events could be anything as far as they are for education and to serve the community.
Great. Around 9 million people that are lawful permanent residents who would be eligible to become citizens, but we don't see 9 million people, right, becoming citizens. So do you have an idea of why people don't take that step to become a citizen, or are there barriers or obstacles for reasons why they don't do it?
Yes, I think, exactly. Like there's, like you said, I think, there's millions of people that are eligible, especially here in Texas. There's over 1.3 million legal permanent residents that are eligible to naturalize. But some of the barriers, especially, within Texas, is that, maybe, that English is a barrier, right? Like access. We need more citizenship providers. We need more instructors out there that are providing these services, right? We need more training. How do we train our trainers to provide this service to our community? And I think, like I said, there's a lot of exceptions, but sometimes people don't know. Another barrier is lack of information. So this program is wonderful because it provides that information to the community, but not knowing where to go. Sometimes people, it's not that they don't want to apply or they don't want to take the next step, it's just they don't know where to go. So the other one, obviously, the fee. The fee, is nearly $1,000, right? It's over $680. So I think because of the economy, employment, I think that's all. That's also a barrier. But I know that USCIS has provided some waivers. In the past, they used to be very tough to get those approved, but most just recently those have been able to get approved or processed a lot faster than it used to. So the lack of, just going back to what you were saying, is the lack of information, maybe the language, and the fee. There could be many other barriers, but those are the main barriers. And I think what you were saying earlier here in Texas, the Citizenship Day, the main coordinator, that's a wonderful initiative because it provides our community where, for places or for events across the state or across the country or where to go. And in Houston, we have them month after month, but in other cities is once a year or sometimes twice a year, depending on the local nonprofits that take the leadership. So I think, so that's why sometimes, people don't know where to go. I think right now there is a great, I guess it's a national resource, but it's also a local resource, the Citizenship Hotline, where people can call for free advice. It's bilingual in Spanish and English, and you can call this number and it will tell you what is the nearest nonprofit that can help you to apply for citizenship, or the nearest event happening in your neighborhood, or what are the basic steps to apply for citizenship, and it's free of service. So I think, for example, that's one resource that a lot of our community don't know, and sometimes, so then the basic is 1-888-839-8682. They have trained hotline operators that can answer your questions, and they'll be able to provide you with the citizenship information that you may need.
Great. Well, I know that I've heard that although 9 million people aren't applying all at once, there have been more people applying, right, this year it seems like. Do you have an idea of why that's happening? Are the elections spurring that, or are there other reasons? Have you heard anything about that?
Well, yes, there is definitely a very high interest in applying for citizenship. I think the numbers have increased at local and national events. I think what's happening across the country, I think there is some of this, there's fear in our community, right? Like they don't know, and I think what's happening with the political environment, I think when a hot topic is immigration, right? And having that fear of not knowing what could happen, because as a legal permanent resident, there's still chances that you can lose that green card, or that you can, you're not protected 100% with it, right? Once you apply for citizenship, then you get you get that 100% protection, you get your passport, you can travel in and out, there's all these other benefits. But I think right now what's happening, people don't know what's going to happen. And it also, at the same time, all of us, some of us may be a citizen, U.S. citizens, but we may have families or relatives that are they're not citizens, and the immigration, I guess, topic that is happening right now is really upsetting, and it has probably angered a lot of our community and some of the things that are happening or said. So I think that's also not only increasing that is getting all those citizens that are eligible to vote. They're going to go out to the polls, but then it's also giving energy to those that are eligible for citizenship to apply for citizenship and really make history in November 8th. So I think there is a mix of everything. There is the fear, there is the anger, and like you said, I mean, there's over 9 million legal permanent residents that are eligible, and it sometimes takes these two factors to get help take the next step. So I think we have definitely seen those, like I said, at events, citizenship workshops. People are coming in higher numbers, and at the naturalization ceremonies also the number has increased of people that are that are becoming naturalized each month. But then also when people register to vote on the spot, the numbers have gone up.
That's great. Thank you so much, Claudia. It's wonderful talking to you. Appreciate it.